Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, July 25th. A nice cool morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. The upper 50s were common in some of the suburban areas of the I-95 corridor this morning. One of the coolest nights we've had in quite a while. Today will be a cool, unsettled day with lots of clouds and some showers, especially closer to the coast. Places like the Eastern Shore, southern New Jersey, central New Jersey have a good shot at some showers. A few showers may back in all the way to near the I-95 corridor, but for the most part, it'll remain just cloudy and cool in the I-95 area. Maybe a sprinkle or two, more likely to see some shower activity farther to the east, closer to the coast. Well, before we talk more about the local weather situation, let's update the tropical situation. This is Tropical Storm Dorian. It continues to move west-northwest. Currently has 60-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Here it is right here. It's got a nice circulation center associated with it. Quite a bit of convection on the south and eastern side of this right now. We'll see how that evolves over the next 24 hours or so. Again, it still looks pretty healthy, intensified slightly overnight with, in terms of winds, sustained winds were about 50 late in the day yesterday. Now 60 miles per hour for sustained winds as it continues on the same track it's been on for the last 24 to 48 hours, and that is basically west to northwest. Well, the next couple of charts come from the Wisconsin CIMS website, and we kind of showed this yesterday and focused in on the dry air just ahead of Tropical Storm Dorian. The dry air at the mid-levels here represented by orange area, and as you may recall from yesterday, it's actually shrunk quite a bit. This dry area ahead of the storm, which is right here, this is tropical storm right here, has diminished somewhat in the overnight hours. So if anything, that's a little more promising for the storm to maintain its strength over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Lots of dry air here farther to the north and east, but again, the area ahead of it is dry relative to the environment right around the tropical storm right now, but it's looking a little bit less impressive, less widespread than it did this time yesterday. Well, here's another way to look at the moist or dry atmosphere surrounding Tropical Storm Dorian. This again is from the University of Wisconsin CIMS website. The moist air on this particular map, this is actually showing precipitable water, which is really another way of measuring moisture in the troposphere. Moist air here is represented by the oranges, and this last few frames you can see the spin associated with the tropical storm right in here as it churns to the west and northwest. Now notice just ahead of it, the bluer area here is dry air, and it actually tends to shrink over the as the storm approaches here. So again, this kind of confirms the last chart that we saw showing a kind of a diminished area of dry air ahead of this system. So if anything, there's a little bit more of a favorable environment for Tropical Storm Dorian to move into over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. It looks like it'll continue on a west-northwest track, probably north of the Caribbean islands here towards the Bahamas. It looks like most likely scenario is that it continues on a track taking it to near the Bahama Island chain around maybe Tuesday or so of next week, early to the middle part of next week, at which time it could take a curve towards the east coast. We'll have to monitor that possibility over the next several days. Well, let's focus in on the Mid-Atlantic region once again. Yesterday we talked about a cool frontal system moving through the Mid-Atlantic region and then stalling out along the east coast. Indeed, it has stalled out right along the Mid-Atlantic coastline, and a batch of moisture is riding up along that frontal system, that boundary zone, basically from the I-95 corridor, which extends from about here to here, all the way to here, basically from the I-95 corridor points east, will experience the shower activity during the day today. Throughout the area, it should be a cloudy and cool day, certainly well below normal for high temperatures for this time of the year, and the best chance for showers over the eastern shore and southern and central New Jersey. Can be a couple of showers working back inland towards the I-95 corridor, but for the most part they will stay to the east of the big cities. Clouds, on the other hand, are quite dominant up and down the I-95 corridor right now, and it looks like it'll stay relatively cloudy throughout the day. That, of course, will keep temperatures down, again, to suppress levels well below normal for this time of the year. This is a couple of frames of a visible satellite loop from the Penn State EWOL site. If you're in the western half of Pennsylvania, just a glorious day with plenty of sunshine and low humidity and plenty of comfortable conditions here, but east of the mountains in the central part of the state and all the way down to the coast, it looks like a cloudy day as that moisture rides up along that stalled out frontal system. Well, let's take a look at a few forecast maps. This is from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. These are surface forecast maps for this evening, Thursday evening. Then we'll look at Friday evening and Saturday evening. Again, the back edge of the precipitation depicted here by the GFS model. Basically, the I-95 corridor points to the east. Quite an impressive little mid-Atlantic low here by this evening along that frontal system. Again, that frontal system just stalled out right along the east coast. Let's now jump ahead 24 hours. And here it is by Friday evening. That mid-Atlantic low becomes quite an impressive nor'easter type storm for the upper part of New England. Places like Cape Cod could get some strong winds and some heavy rain for a while, and then that nor'easter will slam into the state of Maine. Again, that'll be north and east of the I-95 corridor between New York City and Philadelphia, but that mid-Atlantic low turns into quite a New England storm. Notice out here, another frontal system getting itself organized in the middle part of the country, and that'll affect the weekend weather here in the mid-Atlantic region. And here's the forecast map for Saturday evening. That low pressure moves to the eastern part of the Great Lakes, pretty much of a widespread area of some moisture, some shower and thunderstorm activity on Saturday and Sunday as well. Probably a little bit more numerous and a little bit more likely on Sunday. Certainly does not look like a washout for the weekend, but there is the threat for some showers and thunderstorms on both Saturday and Sunday. But again, not a total washout on either day. It will become more humid over the weekend as well and a little bit warmer, but still a little bit below normal for this time of the year. That's it for now. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.